So I have probably the most exciting collab to show y'all. It is literally from my favorite makeup brand that I have purchased with my own money before. And honestly, the fact that they wanted to send me some goodies is so freaking exciting. Very much looking forward to this. It is actually a surprise. I could not decide what I wanted, so I just sent them screenshots of my wish list and I told them to pick. So let's get into it. And I will say I'm going to open this off camera so as not to dox myself. So I freaking got PR from Jolie Beauty. Oh my god. I am going to set this invoice aside so that way my reaction is as authentic as possible. Awesome. So I got one of the lip stains. I have the shade Passionate already that I really enjoyed. This one is Vixen, so this will be like the purpley one. Super looking forward to that. Ooh, another lipstick. This is the Air Matte Liquid Lipstick. Ooh, and Mi Amor. So that's beautiful. Okay, another one. This is the Electric Lip Gloss Multi-Chrome. And I can tell it's like kind of greeny. It's in the shade Mystique. You probably can't see that because of the glare. And lastly, I got the Air Matte Liquid Lipstick, and it looks like another purple, and it's in Incantation, so I'm super excited. I need more diversity in my colors. A lot of my colorful lipsticks have expired because I don't get to shop for myself like that, so I'm super excited. And then I have, oh, please tell me, yes, this is the Skullpted Cream Contour. Literally, I wasn't sure what they were going to send me, so that's why I just have like my foundation routine on my face, nothing else. So that's awesome. And then, oh, here we go. Heavy Metal Liquid Eyeshadow. And that's in the shade Dance of the Dead. So literally, guys, I'm freaking spoiled. And oh my god, they gave me a full-size palette. This is the Spellbound one, and I really wanted to have these colors in my collection. I'll open it up here a bit and then we'll do some swatches. So we'll be doing some swatches starting with the liquid lipsticks and the stains. I did tell them I wanted mostly lipsticks because of the aforementioned expired lipstick problem. So I'm super excited, and a lot of these will go perfectly with that palette. It's a lot of blues, greens, purples, which I have their Tainted Palette, and it's a lot of pinks, reds, purples. So I'm really excited to have like kind of like the full spectrum of colors I most often wear. Okay, so first off we have the shade Incantation, which is that purpley color that I showed you. Ooh, it's really pretty. So I'm just gonna take a little bit right there. Ooh, okay. Already that goes on super smooth and buttery. I do think that's going to look great, not only with my complexion, but my hair. I am going to touch up the purple parts soon. So that's Incantation. The next one I'll be doing is the Stain Vixen. So I will be doing two swatches. One of them I will wipe off, so that way we kind of have an idea. And it's like a good like berry color. Again, I am a big fan of their stains. So I'll take two. Ooh. I'm going to try to build that one up a little bit just so you can see what it looks like when that dries down. And then we'll be smearing out this one here in a second. I just want to give it just a second to dry down. The next thing we'll be swatching is the other liquid lipstick, Mi Amor. And I think that's a beautiful name. Okay, so this one's like kind of more like a neutrally color. I'm very excited because I liked the whole dead lip thing. So we'll swatch that right here. Ooh. Very pretty mauvey, gray toned, good neutral lip, I think. That would definitely help me for like everyday looks. I don't have a lot of like neutral colors that I can actually kind of get to die down. I do have some warm toned, kind of like my lip color, but like I like that one a lot. And then the next is the Electric Lip Gloss Multichrome and Mystique. This is the most out there color, I would say. Ooh, oh my god, okay. You can't really tell on camera, but it's like purple, blue, green, all in one. So that is amazing. Super excited to try that one out. Ooh, okay. Yeah, see that like went on purpley? It looks green on camera, but see if we can kind of get some of that action going. You can kind of tell. It depends on how the light hits it. But it looks purple from like directly right there. I'll get some good pictures. And next is the liquid eyeshadow I will be swatching. Okay, oh wow. And this is the shade Dance of the Dead. This one I almost feel like would be like a good, it also has that iridescent multi-chrome effect. So I feel like it would be good with the multi-chrome lipstick as well. This one has, it appears like pretty much every color of glitter in there. It's like red, purple, blue, green, tiny bit of gold. And then the next thing that we'll be swatching will be the Sculpted Cream Contour. And this one's in the shade Skull. I believe this might be either the lightest or second lightest they had. But look at that. It's like a good cool tone contour. If you have seen any of my base tutorials, you will know I use eyeshadow for contour. So this was a need, especially with my dry skin. It helps to have more cream products I've been finding in terms of like the actual base. So I'm super excited to use this. I'll swatch it real quick for you. Yeah. And see, it's like almost like a perfect match for my natural undertone. It almost looks like I got a bruise because it's so natural looking. But that's gonna be perfect on my cheeks and such. Okay, now what everyone was looking forward to is the palette. And me as well, I'm not gonna lie. So there's it in all its glory. And take off the cover. So I'm so glad that I have like a cool tone palette that'll have all these colors I need. Yeah, and we got some pinks in there too, so it's like good for I would say maybe spring looks and summer looks, in my opinion. I tend to go towards these types of colors if it's not red, pink, purple. So, and look at these. These are kind of giving like winter, in my opinion. So these are very like earthy greens. Love those colors. And then these are kind of like frosty pinks, purples, blues, very like unicorn, magical. And the whole thing is magical, which is hence Spellbound. Let's see if we can remove this in a satisfying manner without flash banging you all. I can probably do one and not the other. Ha! Nice. And then it says, without darkness, there is no light. I love that. And for all my witchy mutuals and followers, a lot of these names we have starting from the top, and we'll go across and then so forth. We have White Magic, Blessing, Intention, Spellbound, Transcend, Diabolic, Vengeance. Then we have Illuminate, Crystals, Spiritual, Lightwork, Divination, Oviha, sorry, Jinx, Prosperity, Healing, Charm, Shadow Work, Curse, Necromancy, Void, Celestial, Manifest, Protection, Rune, Banishment, Voodoo, and Dark Magic. And they are so gorgeous. So I'm probably going to do a couple mattes, couple shimmers. I think, so hard to decide. I'm kind of curious about this Healing shade. Ooh, their product is so good. Like their eyeshadow is so creamy. We'll start down here. I guess it's a perk of having big ass arms. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper with that, just so we can see how it builds. And that's a really perfect purple lavender shade. Some more mattes. I'm going to go in to Spiritual, see how that kind of turquoisey shade holds up. Very buildable too. Let's see if we can. So I think the next one, kind of want to do Vengeance over here. Oh wow, that green. That is crazy. And that was a deeper tone too, so that makes sense as to why it's darker. Let's do Divination. And that kind of matches that first lipstick. It's a little bit lighter, but I think those two would pair nicely. So there's those mattes. So we'll do Manifest first, followed by Lightwork, which is really beckoning to me. And then I want to try Intention. I'll probably do White Magic and then Voodoo. Yeah. So here is Manifest. Really pretty. And that is like heavenly. Okay. Next one, Lightwork. Ooh. And same thing with their shimmers. It's really buttery smooth. You don't feel a lot of grit from the sparkles, so I always like that. I'm just gonna stick that right beside her. Ooh. They're so divine. The ring light is not quite doing it justice, not even gonna lie. Okay, so now we'll go Intention. Ooh, pretty. It's a very like mermaidy blue in my opinion. Ooh, ooh. I picked up a lot of product on White Magic, Pinky. I'm just gonna try to. Okay. Kind of see those better. Voodoo. Ooh, that's very, very metallic-y. I love that. Okay. Wow. That's a good color for like a perfect like night sky shimmery look. Yeah, so those are the swatches. I will come back with a makeup look here shortly, and we'll see what we can create. So starting off, I will be taking the Sculpted Cream Contour into the shallows of my cheeks, under my jaw, on my temples, and on my nose. And as you can see, this blended out beautifully. I applied it with a heavy hand at first, not knowing that the color payoff would be so immense, but in the end it really turned out to look really beautiful and natural. Next, as you can see, I am taking the shade Illuminate for my blush. I didn't want something super loud and to draw the attention away from the eyeshadow look I had in mind. It's a really nice pink subtle color that kind of blends into my skin tone really well. And next I'm using White Magic as the highlight. So I'm taking that on the button and bridge of my nose, on my brow line, and then on my cheeks. And this is how the skin looks after all that beautiful highlight, blush, and contour. And now I'm going to start prepping the eye look. I'm using the shade Dark Magic to kind of shape out an elongated winged eyeliner type shape. This is how I like to do a lot of my eyeshadow looks. I like to take up as much as the face as I possibly can while still looking pretty cute, pretty snatched. And I'm building up that shade right here. Here in a second, I will be dragging it out and making that nice pointy triangle shape. And now I will be placing some concealer on the lids of my eyes so that way the colorful parts of the eyeshadow will really pop. I'm going to be using the shade Banishment to just kind of go over that black part. Really, the black part was just used as like a stencil, also to deepen and darken that area. And then I ended up taking the shade Charm. For my short that I created for this look, I used the shade Curse because, fun fact, I lost all of my recording for the short form content. And I really had everything cropped and ready to go, downloaded the video only for it to be corrupt in the end. So I had to redo the whole look 2 days in a row. Next, I will be using the shade Vengeance for the most central part of my eyelid. I wanted to kind of create like a halo inspired look but with 2 different colors. And I wanted the green to get its own attention. I don't use green nearly enough despite loving the color. I used that and then I used Jinx on top of it for that shimmer shade and wow, it really was luminescent. And then for the innermost part of my eyelid, I used the shade Rune. I love that deep blue look. It's really like the perfect blue ever. And slowly these colors are coming together. Once I pack this in, I did take it over the tops and blend it to the green and to the purple. As you can see, I'm doing here now. And once I was happy with that, I wanted to add the shimmer topper. I used the shade Intention for this one, and it was very, very beautiful, very bright. I love the lightness that it added to the innermost corner of my whole eye. It really gave the look a lot of dimension and beauty to it. Lastly, I'm using the shade Divination, and I'm taking that under the whole look, kind of like as if I have really dark red eye bags, and then to kind of blend out the bottom of the purple. And I repeated on the other side and did lashes and eyeliner off cam. And now it's time to move into the lips. For the lips, I kept it pretty routine for myself. I used a black pencil eyeliner. I don't have a lip pencil, sorry. But I did that on both sides and really deepened up the color. Usually I'll let it go just one layer, but I wanted that dark layer to remain since it is going to be a gloss I'm using. I'm using the shade Mystique, which is their multi-chrome. In this lighting and in the majority of the video, it looked really green, but in indirect lighting, it does look purple or blue. And this is the final look. I hope everybody enjoys it. I'm really digging this vibe. Thank you again to Jolie Beauty for sponsoring this video by sending me PR. Really appreciate it. And this is just to show you how this lipstick looks different in different lightings. So like, we go out of the direct lighting, it looks more purple. And then if you see more direct lighting, green. Super direct.